Hello everyone, Sriram here. This is from ShriLearning. So today we have someone who cracked Agile exam. Agile is becoming a buzzword in any industry, and of course there's a crazy demand for Agile. We have Steve with us who cleared PMI-ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner. So first thing, congratulations Steve for this wonderful achievement.
Thank you, Shriram. It's good to be finished with the exam.
Much relieved, relaxed.
Absolutely.
All right, quickly, certificate. So here comes the certificate, this beautiful one. I am sure Steve had a good dream to get the certificate as early as possible. Getting certificate is always a dream because after we come out of our academics, it is pretty tough to sit in a place and read. We can't allocate enough time for reading, enough time for preparation. So if you do that, it's a good job. So quickly with the Steve. Steve, what made you to think of this certificate? Why you want to go for it?
I wanted to go for the Agile Certified Practitioner because I work with a lot of technical people in my organization, and they use many Agile terms that I was not familiar with. And so as I cleared PMP previously, I realized that the Agile certification was going to be good for me.
All right, that's interesting. So after you got certified, I'm sure now you will be asking a lot of questions about Agile with the people. So your team members will be following you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting. So Steve can give some idea. The people who listen this video, they want to know what is the ingredients or preparation for this exam, because ACP exam level is getting high day by day. The toughness is getting high. So what was your formula? What was your secret of clearing this exam?
Yep. Thank you, Shriram. So what I was able to learn from my past mistakes, and I was able to share with you from the outset when I came to ShriLearning, that I had failed this exam 2 times. So I needed to just get that out on the table right away immediately. I knew that I heard from Roy Sudit that you had taught a very, very good class. The community and the instruction was very good. I was a little bit hesitant simply because, you know, the accent, the Indian accent, so that scared me away. But the first night that I went to the training, I realized that if I pay attention, it'll be fine. And actually, it was more than what I could ever ask for because I learned so much in ShriLearning. One of the main things that I did was I stayed on task. I developed a schedule with you and I stayed on task. Normally, sometimes I studied in many instances during the week, 3 hours and a little bit more on the weekend. And I knew that I had to stay on task if I was going to clear the exam. I think another thing is really understanding and embracing the Agile principles and the making sure that you really understand those principles.
Got you. Got you. I really first appreciate that you are open enough to tell that there was a 2 times. I remember that day when you messaged me, Sriram, already I have done with 2 times. So what you are going to do to me? So
Yeah, it's important to really understand that failure is okay.
yeah.
But you need to get with someone or community or mentor that can really help you with that, because you really learn from your failure. And it's so much better now this time that I've actually passed it, because I was able to score 4 out of the 7 above target.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. One thing I want to appreciate you, Steve, when the classes are happening, it was happening in IST, India time in the morning, which was late for you in the night. But I found you were in the whole session. I was, wow, what a commitment you have.
It it was like an adventure. To
Seriously,
me, it was like an
seriously. Your family would have been surprised. What happened to Steve?
no, my wife understood that this was the 3rd time and I needed to get it done. And so she really supported me all the way. So I think that you know, you have to just have the stamina and the willingness. And as long as you have people that you surround yourself with who understand your journey, and it is a journey, it's not a sprint. So I needed to understand that I'm on a journey, and I needed to do what I needed to do to finish the journey. I don't need to worry about my cohorts who have already cleared exam before me, because they have finished their journey. I was on my own journey, even though it took me 3 times.
Wow, I like that statement from you. One interesting thing also I found is you don't hesitate to ask questions. So you want to understand, you ask questions. I think we had some one-on-one calls where you want to set your calendar properly. You have a plan to prepare. I found you are very systematic on your preparation. That is also very important for this exam. Okay, well said. That's great. So one ask to you, Steve, you would have read the books of Mike Griffith. You would have read a Scrum Guide and Agile Practice Guide. Any other reading recommendation you have?
Yeah, perfect. Good point. Good point for lead in. Those 3 that you mentioned, Mike Griffin, I read that twice. The Scrum Guide is also very important, only because I was not really practicing it and I had no former background. So, and the reading is very easy to understand. So I did appreciate Mike Griffin book was excellent, but the Scrum Guide and those resources that you provided from ShriLearning were awesome. It is very easy to understand. Although there's a lot of material in there, what I was able to do was pick the chapters that I was very weak in, and I got a full, better understanding before, you know, after reading more in detail and in depth.
Ah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Good to know. Good to know about the books. Now, when it comes to the question practice, I have heard sometime questions are more on practical way of asking, in the sense, have you really applied it? So there was a little trouble while we are practicing. I found your scores started going high. You are 80, 90% in the practicing. So how your scores are high? Did you understood the questions reading twice, or you understood the keywords in the question? What was there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sharam. So what I was able to do, and just working with you, when I took a practice exam, I reviewed all 120 questions one by one, even if I got it correct, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't get lucky. So I wanted to re-cement my understanding of what I already knew. Honestly, that is the best way to do it. Take a mock exam and then go through it. Take 2 or 3 days to go through each question line by line, okay? And fail fast, and then go on to the next mock. I'll be honest with you, when I sat in the exam hall, I, you know, as we had discussed, I did 60 questions. And then I got and took a break.
Yeah.
But once I got to about 80, I was so confident that I could close my eyes and just click, 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 because I knew I had passed.
Oh,
Honestly, I did
man.
that. I
like
could
that.
almost turn my head and go because I knew I had passed, and I did. So I think that is what I think that really that is simply because you know, working with you, reading the material, and having a consistent study plan. You must do it because, as you are aware, PMI, they're very good at tricking you.
That's true. That's true. I like the idea of closing the eyes and answering.
Yeah, because I knew I already passed.
All right, pretty
And
interesting.
I had 30 minutes left.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
I had 30 minutes left. Now, the two previous times I had not, you know, that wasn't the case.
Got you, got you. This is even after taking 5 minutes break in between the test, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Super. So we understood about your study that should be systematic, books, what to read, how to see the practice questions. In exam hall, you divide the exam into 60 questions, break 5 minutes, again, another 60 questions. It's very clear. Super. Any more tips for the people who just started preparing? What will be your tips to them?
Yeah. I hope that people who are like me and had no previous knowledge about Scrum really look at this video. I think that the people who are more familiar with Scrum and they take ShriLearning, they'll be fine. But I really want to talk to the folks who had no previous background because it can be done. I think that you need to surround yourself with a good community of like-minded professionals who are, you know, want to help and want to really dive in and roll up your sleeve and do the work. I had a lot of fun. I've considered myself a lifelong learner, so I'm going to stay connected with this community.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So one question from the audience: what will be which state in US you are, or what will be your nature of job, or if you want to share?
Yeah. So I'm in the East Coast in Virginia, in the United States, and I work for the federal government. And
Nice.
I honestly, after clearing my PMP last year and clearing the ACP, I'm having the most fun in my career right now.
Wow. Two PMI with you. Wow.
Yes.
That's quite interesting. Great. So thanks a lot, Steve, for coming up here and sharing your quick tips. I'm sure this is going to give confidence to many of them who are preparing for the examination. One key point takeaway I observed here is stay confident, don't give up.
Right.
So that's a one thing. Also, you gave one other term: fail early, learn, and then come back. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
I got that. I got that. Great, Steve. Have a great time. Thanks a lot for your time here, and good wishes for successfully applying Agile in your corporate.
Thank you, Sharam. Thank you.